Hi, I'm D Ocean, and this is D Ocean's Deep Woo. Woo woo woo. What are we going to talk about tonight? Well, Brain, what are we going to talk about? What are we going to do tonight? Try to take over the world. Try to take over the world, Pinky. Okay, I had to remember what character he was. But anyway, yeah, we're going to try and take over the world, of course. Same thing we do every night. Okay, watch this. I'll be right back. Hello there. Yes, we have some information tonight, and one of the reasons I know some things that I know. Okay. I have made some predictions, and I've been trying to calm people the F down because a lot of people thinking we're on the highway to hell, and maybe we're on the stairway to heaven. Now, granted, um, maybe the fact that there's a highway to hell and only a stairway to heaven gives you some idea of the expected traffic. But no. Um, Actually, I'm here to talk about ages and yugas. And I realized at some point I didn't even know. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I'll sing something, honey. I didn't even know about the ages and yugas that well. I only knew that really the pendulum is swinging, and it's not swinging downward, it's swinging upward. Okay, because that's the imagery I saw. So we're on the upswing, and that is really what my information tells me. We're actually on the upswing, but what is that? What? What does that really mean, though? Ocean, you say? Ocean, what does that really mean? Well, I didn't really know, so I had to really look it up. Um, I know it meant better times. I know that it has something to do the with India and the way that India looks at things rather than the way we do. Psyche Awakens, how you doing, honey? And hey, you got aliens is in here in the house too. Hi. So I looked it up, and here is what I am told. What are the yugas? In the West, people often view time as linear, and this is from, oh, by the way, this is from a site called Ananda, the four yugas. In the West, people often view time as linear, with the future being more evolved than the past. But in India, time is viewed as cyclical. And people slowly evolve and slowly devolve, only to slowly evolve again. And this is called the Yuga cycle, and it is divided into four different yugas or ages. The highest age is Satya Yuga, then Treta Yuga, then Dwapara Yuga, and the least evolved is Kali Yuga. The yugas are further broken up by whether they are ascending or descending, meaning whether we are in the part of the cycle that is going upward toward the higher ages or heading down toward the lower ones. The entire cycle takes 24,000 years. Not that long. Anyway, Sri Yukteswar, a renowned Indian astrologer, hope I said it right, and self-realized soul, gives us in his book, The Holy Science, some ideas of what the different yugas are like. The Kali Yuga, the age of materialism. It is the lowest one. Okay. And it's the one we're coming out of. Let's take a look at this. The Kali Yuga, humans are the least evolved spiritually and intellectually. People are generally only able to comprehend material things. What does it sound like? Hang on. Let me get back over here to where chat is. People are only able to comprehend material things and live lives of ignorance. Willpower is low. Most people passively accept their fate. Most written accounts of ancient knowledge are destroyed in this age. Religion is rigid, dogmatic, and intolerant. Some people do know higher religious teachings, but they have to hide to avoid persecution. I am paraphrasing, and I'm applying it to the age we just went through. Of course, in every yuga, there are souls whose consciousness reflects a higher age, and the world's last yuga was no exception, having brilliant philosophers and artists near the end of the ascending Kali Yuga. The Renaissance happened, and a lot of knowledge that was thought lost was refound. So we're actually coming on the upswing, okay? The Dwapara Dwapara Yuga, the age we are living in now, is referred to as the age of energy because in this age, we are better able to understand and harness energy than in the Kali Yuga. In the Dwapara Yuga, technology is booming and all sorts of new religions, philosophies, and scientific discoveries are popping up. And we now know that matter and energy are interchangeable, for instance. This is the age when we learn to transcend space and distance. We are already doing it somewhat with telephone, internet, high speed transportation, and in the future, we will probably discover the secret of instantaneous travel, allowing us to wander among the stars. Unfortunately, we still have a long way to go. Dwapara Yuga people are extremely self interested, and so our motivation to achieve is usually selfish. And there are high ways of perceiving the universe than just reason. In Treta Yuga, we learn how to use our intuition. Treta Yuga, now let's see what we're getting from chat right now. How's the chat going? Let's see who came in. Mm-hmm. Yes, the Wheel of Fortune is turning in our favor. Well, no, we're actually in the next one. It says, and why can't I make you a mod? Hey, you. Hey, what's up, Raymond? Put some clothes on. Hey, it's not letting me. Why isn't it letting me do that? It's my freaking. Let me see if it will up here. Let me do that up here. No, it won't let me do that. Mm-hmm. Ah! No, it's not going to let me do it. Okay, sorry. No way to do it right now. Putting some clothes on it. Okay, you guys are something else. I love you. I love you guys. I love you. Okay, so before I go on to the Treta Yuga, it is generally understood that we are now in the age of the Dwapara Yuga, the age of energy. We just came out of the Kali Yuga, which was horrible. Ugh. I mean, back when nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. You know, back in the days of the Spanish Inquisition, that would have been a Kali Yuga. So if you look at those days, that I mean, it screams Kali Yuga. And when we were torturing people to death because they didn't agree with the church, yeah, screams Kali Yuga. You swing freely. We're not doing cards today, Raymond. We're talking about Yugas and Ages. We only do cards twice a month on the new and the full moon. So sorry you didn't know. but I usually do explain that I explain it in my site description. Okay, but you're welcome to hang around and just talk if you want, or listen or whatever, of course. Um, oh, really? That's great. Stay away from the golden nugget. Really? Yikes. Uh, right. Uh, Too expensive. I'd never be staying there, honey. Probably not. Anyway. Um, so that was the Duapara, 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 Duapara. I don't speak Indian. But the Treta Yuga, the age of thought, we'll be going into that. But we're not there yet. But now it's interesting to note that they kind of overlap sometimes. At some point, they kind of overlap a little bit, and we start to see the forerunners of what's coming in the next age. So in the Treta Yuga, we recognize that everything's interconnected. We have strong mental powers such as telekinesis, mental telepathy, the ability to manifest whatever we need. If there is any war, it will not be widespread, and most people will be peace loving and compassionate. It will not necessarily be more technologically advanced, just more spiritually advanced. Being more spiritually advanced and able to manifest at will whatever we need, we may actually leave technology behind and choose to live more simply and naturally. And this may be the reason why we don't find too many artifacts of this particular age. Sometimes they just stop producing technology because they don't need it anymore. It's not a technological, not necessarily technological age. The big difference that separates the two lower yugas, the Kali and the Dwapara, from the upper two, the Treta and the Satya, is self interest. People in Kali and Dwapara Yuga are often greedy and live only to help themselves and sometimes their family and friends. But in the Treta and Satya Yuga, however, people recognize we're all connected and so work for the good of everyone as much as themselves. So there are already some of us who have got this, right? So now the Satya Yuga, the age of spirit, currently incomprehensible to us, as is the Treta. However, Sri Yukteswar does say in his book, the human intellect can comprehend all, even God the Spirit beyond this invisible world. This is the age when we will be so spiritually advanced that God Himself is part of our everyday experience. We will be able to see God in everyone and everything. I'm already most of the way there. As I say, I'm God and so are you, and so are we all. Our intuition will be completely developed. We will live in happiness and natural simplicity. We will understand the nature of the universe and be able to communicate telepathically anywhere in the world. There are many myths about this golden age in many cultures. Some of the things that these myths share are people are considered demigods and able to fly and create things at will. People look young their entire lives and do not get diseases. People can communicate with animals and live in harmony with nature and each other. The weather is perfect and there's plenty of food. Everyone can communicate in one language. Although this cycle of the yugas is not currently accepted in Western science, there is plenty of evidence for it, that it is known to the West, but currently ignored. For more about this evidence, see The Yugas, Key to Understanding Our Hidden Past. Emerging Energy Age and Enlightened Future by Joseph Selby and David Steinmetz. So anyway, we can better understand our past and where our world is heading. It will help us to make better decisions now. We can also hold Satya Yuga up as a example of how we should behave in harmony with nature and the rest of humankind, treating everything as if it were a part of ourselves because underneath the appearance of life, it is. Okay. Then an advertisement for their site. So there we go. Now, the cool thing is, if we're looking at what we are in, we're coming out of that Kali Yuga. We're out of it, actually. We're now in um, the one that I can't say, Swapara. And so we're in an upswing one. Okay, we're in one of the upswings. That's how I know. And after it got past a certain point, I could just feel it. See, that's how I know that things are not going to get worse now. I just felt like, okay, we hit the low point. We hit a point where things are rebalancing and we're heading back up. And things are not going to be getting worse. So right now, what we got to concentrate is what we're making out of the future. That's going to be the gist of everything. What are we making for the future? And really, come on up, baby. You probably hear Mr. Cowboy. Mr. Cowboy, lend me some purrs. I need a fella with soft silky fur. There you go. I'll sing that. Mr. Cowboy, bring me some purrs. I need a fella with soft silky fur, with big green eyes and a cute little nose. I wanna play with some little bean-shaped kitty cat toes. Cowboy, where are you? There. Oh, the camera doesn't want to go that far. Get over here. Let people see your loveliness. Cowboy, come here, baby. I was alone, didn't have a kitty cat to call my own. Please turn on that purr machine, which he has no problem doing. Mr. Cowboy, bring me good dreams. Meow, 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 meow. That's my silly song about Cowboy Cake. He's up here purring, doing his job, spreading the love, spreading the kitty purrs. Grantavius, how you doing? We just finished the meat of the. We just finished the Yugas and Ages. Just finished talking about. Oh well, rewind. So anyway, this is why I'm saying we're not going to go any lower, okay? Because we are in an upswing age. We are not in the downswing age. So it's going to get better. People are going to get more evolved and not less evolved, okay? As time goes on. So, we're out of the Kali now. There's still going to be remnants of it, of course, Sagi. That's what you're feeling. There's going to be remnants of the Kali Yuga because, it takes a while to change things over. But the Dwapara, that's what it is. But we're in the Dwapara now, and we're just in the beginning of the Dwapara. So It's on its way up. And this is the good news. Now, this is not accepted by science. Of course not, because that's the way science is. You know. But no, of course it's not accepted by science. However, if you ask an Indian about these myths, their history, they have the oldest history on record. They have the oldest, most complete history of the world. And they even still have some temples that help tell that history. So I would say, thank you, India. Thank you, India. Like the song. But yeah, India actually has some surviving information of that era, of the past eras. And fortunately, it hasn't all been destroyed like it has in our world, our part of the world. Our part of the world, it's mostly been destroyed. Um, okay. Much love and hugs, Grantavius. What, the Yugas? Well, you're going to have to rewind that. The golden nugget is crazy. Okay. Well, anyway, India, and if you don't follow Praveen Mohan, Praveen, Praveen, Mohan, Mohan, and you want to know something, go see it. Go sub to him. Great channel. And he talks a lot about these Indian monuments, and they have records of our past history. Okay. And now that we are discovering through people who are very curious, like Praveen, and he's so intuitive, he's so smart about reading symbols. He's so good at that, reading symbolism and figuring it out. He knows all the gods and their stories, and so he knows what he's looking at. And I was saying he really needs to bring that intelligence, that intellect of his and that understanding to our monuments here while he is. So pretty soon we're going to be probably seeing some more stuff. He's already done a couple things, but we're probably going to see some stuff about our own monuments here and how he sees them. He's so good at interpreting these things, and really, if you haven't seen any of his videos, you'll find them very interesting if you like that kind of thing. And it's a travelogue kind of thing too. So you're seeing parts of the world that you wouldn't normally see, and in a way that you wouldn't normally see them. So, elderberry, what's happening? Yeah, well, what's happening with you, elderberry? So, that is why I am saying, since they know more about the past than we do, than the Western world, what we call the Western world, we really need to look into what they know. Now, the Native Americans know a few things too, and we need to know all of the indigenous people, what they know. There's things that they don't. They know that Western people just would say, "Oh, you're crazy, bro," but not that nice. So we need to look into these things. We need to pay more attention to the indigenous cultures trying to tell us the truth and being shouted down, and called. Um, it's always called mythology, but it's not mythology. It's their history. And do I believe it? Do I believe there were blue guys in flying craft that went interstellar? Well, doggone it, we got that now, as far as I can tell. Um, there's more than one time that I was out remote viewing and suddenly found myself on a ship with blue guys. So, do I think that they're telling the truth? Yeah. Are they telling the whole and complete truth? Probably nobody is, but probably a lot closer than what we got. Oh, I mean, we're so ignorant over here. So, really, we need to look at the older cultures to tell us what really happened in the past. And of course, the fossil records help us too. And that's one of the things I'll call out Mud Flood, Mud Fossil Roger, Mud Fossil University Roger, um, who does a lot towards understanding our world through looking at fossils. And John does some of this too. He is we tease him and call him the lizard peen guy, but because giant lizards, he's finding the parts of giant lizards. But it's a trip. You gotta sub to John, okay? So um hi, traveling gypsy Taro. Hello. Yeah. Oh, still trying to ditch the cold, doggone. Uh oh, were you one of the people affected by that doggone fog? Because we know there was some bad stuff in there. Bad stuff. You know what? Hmm. One of the things that I've done before, this is not medical advice, just something that I've done before, is I would take a silver solution, like colloidal silver, and actually I have some right here. It's worth a try. And this is what I would do. I'm going to move my glasses. I would put it in a bottle like this and breathe it, spritz it, and then breathe in the particles. And you're breathing in some silver when you do that. Silver is antibacterial. It may help. There's also other ways people have talked about. Some people swear by Vicks Vapor Rub. Mhm. Um, and you can put that in a humidifier. But yeah, I'm going to be running my humidifier. I have had problems with my throat and lungs for a little while, for a long time. And I'm a singer, and I usually sing it out, and I usually exercise my lungs. But yeah, there is something in the air now, and it's not good. And it's just there all the time. So I think that's going to be taken care of, though. I think that when everything comes out, that's going to be handled. But yeah, there is something wrong. When you made a pooped a what? Okay. Yes, Louis Todd, that's quite true. Silver is a lot safer um, than a lot of things. Silver won't hurt you. Really, won't hurt anything. So Colloidal silver is one of the safest substances I've found. But you can breathe that. There's several other things that people have used um, to look up, but I do hope you feel better soon. Oh, the mud fossil. Yes. Yes, I think I've made a few myself. But anyway. Yes. Okay. I wish I knew what this was for sure. I have these lovely that I have a couple of cool things. I'm going to be selling them. Tell me if you have any interest, but would you like a bracelet that looks you in the eye? You like to stare at a bracelet that stares back at you? These are evil eye beads. I got some very cool evil eye beads, and they're supposedly to protect you. And that's turquoise. But the evil eye beads in red. And Chinese New Year's coming up. The old red eye. Mm. Well, and he even said this, the guy who turned himself blue, he even said that it's most likely because if you have a little bit of copper mixed in, like if it's contaminated with copper, which he was making a colloidal himself, it's probably what did it. And actually, you see the turquoise right there? The reason it's blue is copper. So he's thinking what he did. He explained this, I remember, on one of the shows, one of the interviews. He was not careful enough about using pure silver. And so it was probably actually the copper that was turning him blue because they mix a little bit of copper into silver quite often. Um, so unless it's very pure silver, you're going to get some other metal in there with it, and it's going to. It makes me think, is that what's up with the blue guys? You know, we're iron based. This is why we're pink. We're shades of pink. We're all different shades of pink, right? We're brown pink and black pink and blue pink, but our blood is red. Okay. On the inside, we're all pink. So, in red. Okay. So I'm thinking, what if they're a different base than iron? What if they're not based on iron? What if their blood is based on something like copper? Copper is very conductive and even quicker conductive than iron. So that might give them an edge too, to have better conductivity. And then if you had gold or silver, that would be better still, better conductivity. So I'm thinking, yeah, it could be just that these people have a little bit different basis of their blood than we do, which would make them a different color. Yeah. That used to be an insult, turn blue, back in the old days when I was a kid. It's like, turn blue. And that's why Goulardi used to say it. He was a late night movie host. He was the premier. He was one of the first late night movie hosts. He used to say, stay sick, turn blue. So, yeah, if you overdo it, though, you are going to start to change. There is a lady who was using it and she was slow. She was starting to turn kind of a grayish color. So, it's like Was it because of this? I don't know. She could have been doing something else too, but she was starting to look more like a gray. So I don't know. I don't know. But it looked like she might have been a black woman. So it could just be the way that it was reacting with her skin, being that her skin was already another color. I don't know. Um, anyway, the reason I wanted to bring this up is to just reassure people we're in an ascending age. So we don't have to worry as much about things going so bad. We're not going to get as low as we have been. Okay. We already hit our low point and we're on our way up, but it's going to be kind of a painful ascent considering how low we got. We've had kind of a painful ascent, and it's going to be a while before we get rid of all the remnants of the other age. The energy wasn't as strong. The energy wasn't as strong as what? Okay. Well, okay. Something about this mystic vendor, the energy wasn't as strong on the crystals. Not everybody charges them quite like. Yeah, well, that's why I use the selenite wand. I keep selenite wand right here. You don't have to even have a smudge then. You can use the selenite wand. It's so good. I mean, this is so easy. You don't have to light anything on fire. No fire hazard. Um, is it as good? I'm using it. I'm I feel it's working as well. So um, I don't know. There's nothing like a good smudging, of course, but it works pretty well, folks. So if you don't have a big hunk of selenite, get yourself. It's cheap. Selenite, one of the cheapest stones, dudes. If you're into this stuff, shave. No. If you're into this stuff, selenite is so cheap compared to a lot of stones. And actually, I was very lucky to get this at a gym show. And I didn't pay hardly anything for it. I got three of them. I paid like $3. I paid like about $1 a piece for a big hunk like this. It's pretty good. Pretty good. So, um, well, you have to get, you know what? This is not coming apart. But yeah, if they might be doing something to stabilize, this might have some stabilizer on it because they do make stabilized selenite, which doesn't splinter so easy. Yeah, that's the only thing about selenite. There are other forms of selenite. There's also the plate form of selenite, which instead of splinters like this, it's flat plates. But I'll have to look up some flat selenite and show you the difference. But yeah, it can. And so you have to be careful of that. Yeah, you really don't want to get the splinters anywhere delicate. Not good. But it isn't like fiberglass in that it isn't toxic, like fiberglass is. But yes, it can be very uncomfortable, and in the wrong part of your body could probably cause some damage. So don't use it there unless you get a nice smooth piece. I'll show you one of those. That it's a healing wand. Don't be thinking. I know what you were thinking. Well, I guess you can be thinking. That's okay. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Susie. I don't know who Susie is, but yeah. Yeah, you got to watch it. That's why that's why they stabilize it. They put some kind of stabilizer on it in order to keep it from doing that. Because, yeah, it can just fall apart real easy otherwise. And I have seen huge rods of it get destabilized. But okay, let's see, what else did I want to talk about? Yeah, don't put it. There's some places you don't want to get splinters in. Be careful. Um, don't get it in your eyes. Don't get the splinters in your eyes. Okay, I don't know who that is, but I don't want to meet her. So, Cowboy has a video out, another video out. Please like, share, all that shit, whatever. Like it, share it, do something with it. Throw it against a wall, and no, I don't do that and break your phone, but do something with it. Just interact, interact, interact. Um, because otherwise you might hurt his self-esteem. Not a chance. He knows he's valuable, but yeah, be careful with selenite. Um, so basically, that's all that I wanted to say. I just wanted to give people hope and why I have such hope. One of the reasons I have such hope. We are moving into brighter times. I can feel it. People can talk about all of this stuff that could happen, and I really hate when people say, and this is going to happen to us all, and this is what's going to happen to you. It's like, it's not going to happen to me. I'm not going to allow it to happen. I'm not going to choose the timeline where this is allowed to happen. And I don't recommend you choose that, because you can choose it. I have said this before. I've been through many timelines that are vastly different from this one. When I was a kid, I am not joking, and this would have been in like the 60s, 70s. I was in a timeline where the United States had more states than now. But as I was thinking about it, I was thinking it wasn't really that much bigger of a landmass. It wasn't that we had more land mass, it was that it I kind of remember that some of the bigger states were divided up more. It was divided a little bit differently. And in the history of our country, that has been the case. The states were not always divided up the way they are now. So maybe in that timeline, you know, it got divided differently. But yeah, in one of the timelines I was in, and this would have been maybe in the 70s, I remember being taught that Alaska and Hawaii were our 51st and 2nd states. There's no trace of that now. Now they made a nice even 50. But back then, I swear that's what they taught us in school. So I know, freaky. Yeah, it freaks me out. Things that that's why I double check things. It's good to double check. If you skip the timeline, if you moved a timeline, everything you think you know may be just a little off now. And you can be arguing over something that cannot really be resolved because, yeah, you're remembering it right. And the other person is right too because you're coming from different timelines. And that is mind boggling. But you get used to it after a while. And as long as I've been at this with all the personal Mandela effects and stuff, I have gotten used to it. And that's one of my personal Mandela effects is that we at one time had more states. As crazy as that may be. But who knows? Maybe we had Greenland and Canada. I don't know. Maybe that already had happened. So, nothing is going to really shock me anymore as far as that is concerned. Oh, cool. So, we're in a brighter timeline. If you're here in my timeline right here, this one, you're in a much brighter timeline than some of the ones that we've passed over. So we some of them are gone. They're gone. We crossed over into a different line, and this is a much brighter timeline. So I wanted you to know, and I really think you have a right to know, because nobody is going to tell you this stuff as flat out as that. Everybody wants to go roundabout and maybe get you to buy their freaking book or subscribe to their religion or something. And really, all I'm saying is, dude, this is the way I see it. This is the way I remember it. Is it a matrix? Dude, to me, it has to be. It has to be. That's the reason we can do that. That's the reason we can keep changing like that. If this was a real reality, we probably wouldn't be able to do that. So, oh, it's buffering. Yeah, I must be touching a touchy subject. We're in a matrix. We're in a matrix. I know it's probably not a lot, probably freaking him out. We're in a matrix. We're in a matrix. Neener, neener. We're in a matrix and we know it. But you can learn to drive this sucker. And this is what I'm doing. I'm going to learn to drive. I'm going to learn to. I know how to code it. I know I've done it. I know that I'm one of the creators of this matrix. I just know it. I have to be. So I'm going to drive this sucker. And I'm going to drive us to a much better place. Y'all can come with. Y'all can come, just hop right in the car. Get in, loser. But you won't be a loser though, then, will you? Hmm. Okay, so this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm trying to get people to understand, and I know that's why I came back here, because I know that I was living in a much more refined society than this one. So the reason I came back here is to try to help y'all. And right now, I'm reclaiming the crew. Those of you who are seeking to return, do your job. You came here as a volunteer, and I'm obviously one of those. We're getting ready. We're fin to go home. It'll be a while, probably, but we are going to do our job, do it right, make sure we don't have to come back again. That's what we're doing. We're doing that here. We don't come here to have families and spread our seed necessarily, although some people that is the way that they're helping, I would think. But that's not necessarily why we're here. We're here to make sure that this goes in the right direction. So, yeah, yeah, Scotty, make a few mistakes along the way. We're going to drive this sucker, and we're going to drive this sucker home. Okay? And one of these days, it's going to be obvious. It's going to get more and more obvious, I think, that it's a matrix. I think that's just going to get screamingly obvious at some point, to the point where they can't deny it anymore, where it's just undeniable that this is a sim. A very good one, very realistic, still a sim. Off D. How you doing, babe? There's that hooker. Off D hook. The yarn pirate. Yarn. Surrender your yarn or get the hook. Look. Yeah. It's a loom. See, it's looming. It's a yarn loom. It's a looming yarn loom. Boom, 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 boom. It's a loom. Okay. So my yarn loop, it is big one. Look at that. It's a big one. Prepare to be amazed. Prepare to be uh, um, amazed. It's just a loom. It's plastic. It's long. Pretty long. Anyway, for knitting, loom knitting. Mm. So I've used these. They're pretty fast. I have gotten very fast on these. When I do the round ones, I have some round ones too to make hats and stuff and scarves. And I got to where I could make a whole hat in like half an hour on a loom. Because once you get whipping along on those, it's fast. It's really fast. So And I said, whipping along, and Scotty's like, what? What? Whip. I must have said boobs at that point, at some point. That Scotty showed up. Did I say boob? I might have said boobs. I don't know. Anyway, whipping along. You couldn't get whipping along? Yep, whipping along. Okay. I have somewhere, if I can only find it, and it's purple. I have a hand braided whip that I braided myself. I used to do that sort of thing. I used to be a lot more naughty. I used to be more gothic and more naughty. So you don't know what you're getting into sometimes when I get in the mood. But um, I am a lot more tame in some regards and probably weirder in others now. You need your hook. Arg, she wouldn't be the same without a hook. Oh, I was a very naughty goth chick. Oh, yeah. Um, and I used to tell people, I'm dark. I'm just dark. I'm not evil. I'm just dark. And I was. I had a kind of a dark. I really, that's part of how I got into the truther type stuff. I had such distrust for everything. That's part of the reason I think I was attracted to the whole gothic thing. I had mistrust. I had um, the sort of view of the world that wasn't very, it was like, to me, this world's just nuck and futz. And yeah, it just didn't make any sense to me. And it was sad. All I saw is I saw a lot of really nice people were having heartache, and a lot of really rat sturds were living it up. And I saw when I was younger, a lot of people were dying. That was the Vietnam era. And my parents were older, so a lot of their friends died. A lot of our relatives died. So there was a lot of death in my life. And I kind of psychoanalyzed myself about the goth stuff. I think I figured it out why it was appealing. I had to make friends with death so I wouldn't be afraid. That's what happened. So, yep, Mistress Ocean. And then you've got Mistress Hook. Boy, what a good name for a mistress. Hmm. Well, okay. And you can even have a few more. So I can be kind of dark and scary, and I should probably show you at some point. I should read some stories as sort of the dark, scary person I used to be. I'll show you that persona someday. Maybe I'll even dress like that persona one day. And I will show you, and you'll be like, what? Because I am really like a different person now in so many ways. I have a much sunnier attitude. I was more of a moon child back then. I was much more of a nighttime moon child, night owl type person. So, you know, it was way different. Hmm. Hey, Mary Wins is in the hoose. So, Mary Wins. Um, a little late. You're going to have to rewind if you want the information I just gave. We're talking about Yugas and Ages, and that we're in an age that I can't pronounce. Oh, let me try again. Wait, let me try. Dwapara. I guess I can pronounce it, I just can't remember it. The age of Dwapara, the age of energy, and obviously the age of me having cowboy fur up my nose. I love him, but boy, he gets up my nose. And I don't even care because he's so cute and sweet. Such a lover boy. Yes, he's getting his belly rubbed, so he's all happy. He loves me doing these programs because he knows if he sits right next to me here, he knows that every now and then I'll reach over and rub his belly, and then life is complete. But then his fur will get up my nose. So, Dwapara. How do I remember that? Dwa. Para. Like paranormal. Paranormal. Like Dwa paranormal. Or the age of energy. Energy. I guess that's why we got this obsession with Red Bull and coffee. Really, Americans are speedheads, though, aren't they? Um, Americans just they they take uppers all the time in the form of, I mean, not just uppers in the form of pharmaceuticals, but also uh, coffee and sugar and just all kinds of things that go, bring you up. Um, and we're all interested in things like, in fact, I bought some, and this is weird. I got myself some yerba mate, which is supposed to be a stimulant. The only thing is, when I've had it in a drink before, and it has woke me up really well. But when I have it by itself, I get sleepy. I have never figured that out. I don't know if I'll ever figure that out. But anyway, but yeah, we're speedheads. We're a bunch of freaking speedheads. We like to stay awake. And I was sleep deprived for years. Really. I just wanted to stay awake and do things. So, yeah, Meth America. Oh, you can whip it? Yeah, I can if I can ever find my whip. The cartels are bombing the border now. I didn't know that. Are they literally doing that? Oh, I don't think I don't think that's going to go very well. As Donald said, mine's bigger. He said that. He literally said that. Well, it's not going to go well for them, I think. I don't think it's going to end up going well for them. But there you go. I think something's going to have to happen. We'll see. I'm sure there's going to be a response to that. I'm sure they're not going to like it. Don't worry, we're on the upswing. Whatever it looks like, it's going to get better. I'm telling you, maybe 6 months. We're probably going to be clearing things up for 6 months, but it's going really fast. Going even faster than I thought. But there's going to be stuff still acting up for a long time yet, for a while. Not years, though. I don't think it's going to take us years to straighten things out. I think things are going to start to go better in the spring, even maybe as early as this spring. We might start to see things ironing out. So, never. Fun, fun, fun until what? Till the daddy took the T-bird away. Oh, oh, yeah, that's true. This is the year of the snake. Now, I am going to be doing, since Wednesday, the show is going to fall right at the beginning of Chinese New Year celebration. They celebrate for a couple of weeks. It's going to fall right on that day when it starts this year, the 29th. So I'm going to we're going to look up everybody's year if you want it. So tell people to show up that night. We're going to we're going to be talking about what year you are, what element you are, and what your year is going to look like, year of the snake is going to look like. So we're going to do that stuff, okay? On Wednesday. So be here Wednesday, don't miss it. It's going to be fun. Yep, this Wednesday. So, yep, the year of the snake. Now, the snake, the the dragon came in and it was all firecrackers. It was a real firecracker year. The snake is going to be different. A lot's going to happen, but it's going to be more subtle. It's not going to be quite as loud and noisy as the dragon, but still, there's going to be a lot of changes. And I can see they're going to start to open up stuff that people have been telling us is it doesn't exist. That can't happen. Oh, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Yeah, it exists and it's going to happen. And we're going to find out about it. There's going to be disclosures of all types. There's going to be disclosures about aliens. There's going to be disclosures about politics. There's going to be disclosures about science. There's going to be disclosures about history. Every freaking thing. We're going to have all kinds of disclosure coming up. You watch. And it's going to shock a lot of people, and we're going to be probably the least shocked. But there's even going to be things that are going to freak us out, probably. Like, oh, I didn't know that. How could I miss that? Right? So, really, it's going to be great. But remember, we're still in the early stages of this. Now, the great thing, the wonderful thing is, we're going to have a much easier ride now than we would have had otherwise. If we would have had things turn out differently, we would have been doing all this during a lockdown. We would have been so locked down. Um, it's going to be a lot easier now. I don't think we're going to go back unless I don't see us going back, but I guess there are. See, we're on the ascending, so I don't really see how we could go back unless you're really intent on it, unless you really, really want to go backwards. But why? If you do, you're crazy. And so, bye bye. Not in my timeline. I ain't going back. I ain't going back. Oh, you love caveman? Yeah, snake is about knowledge. Knowledge, subtlety. It's also shedding the skin to emerge renewed. And that's what we're going to do. So next year, what are we going to do? We're going to shed a bunch of old crap, a bunch of skin, a bunch of old things that are useless now. When the snake is getting ready to shed its skin kind of gets dull and it can't see very well. So if you are a snake handler, you got to know that that is a dangerous time to deal with a snake. It can't really see very well. So even a tame pet snake might strike out. But as that snake is shedding its skin, when it emerges, it will emerge renewed. And that is what is going to happen with us. This is our chance to emerge renewed. It's going to be a shedding of the skin time. I'll talk more about this on Wednesday. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I saw that and it is funny. Yeah, and Ringo Starr is in it. Yeah, that was hilarious. And one of my ex's favorite movies. And because I had long hair, he knew it would drive me crazy to do this, right? He would actually take one of my hairs, long, long hair, right? He would pick it up and he would floss his teeth with it just to make me nuts. Okay. Yikes. Yeah. Well, my ex had a sense of humor. At least that's the reason we got along. You know what? I looked it up. I'm sorry, Scotty, I beat you to it. I am really a firecock. Rooster, cock, rooster. I really am. And I'm a fire rooster, but he's a dog. And it turns out dogs are not compatible with roosters. How we managed to make it 7 years is beyond me because we weren't supposed to do that. We weren't supposed to be able to do that at all. We weren't supposed to get along very well at all, but somehow we managed to get married and last for 7 years. Don't ask me how it happened. So we get along with roosters. So I don't know. Weird shit can happen. We'll go into it more on Wednesday. You're a dog. Uh-oh. Well, actually, me and my husband got along for a while, Me and my ex got along for a while. I guess it's just maybe not for marriage, though, because of um, and in a love relationship, it was strained all the time. We were yelling at each other a lot. Um, if it wasn't for our sense of humor, we probably would have broke up long before 7 years. You know? Is Woo still here? Is Derek still here? He's a Wooster. Oh, a wed woes. How romantic. Your daughter is Nox. Okay. You're a bunny. Okay. Or a cat in Vietnamese astrology. Okay. Your hubby is a drabbit. Is that a very drab rabbit? A very unexciting rabbit. A drabbit. Oh, a dragon rabbit. Okay. I think it was a. I wonder. I haven't looked at his chart in so long. But anyway, there you go. The Lyrans keep sending you ghost kitties. It's because you're a cat. There you go. What? You didn't know Vietnam had cats? Oh, I didn't either, but it kind of. I don't know why they wouldn't. You dated a tiger once. I wouldn't be surprised if you said you dated a cougar once. A tiger, I guess, could happen. I'm a cougar. Actually, I'm not any of those. I'm a cougar. But mm, oh, really? There was a tiger in your tank, huh? Wow. You must have been really, really desperate for if you a tiger? Grammarama Ding Dong. Oh, Year of the Tiger. Well, of course. Okay, Hook is a metal dog. Head banging dog. Right? I hate to tell you guys, but I'm a cock. Yeah, this is not something you want to start a conversation with when you're a woman or when you're a man, but especially not when you're a woman. Oh, I'm a cock. No, like a rooster. I do love cocktails, though. Hmm. You dated too many cougars in your life. Ah, yes. And a firecock to boot. I know. It's like I'm a firecock. Yeah, that's really going to draw people in. There's a million jokes we can make about this. Come on, we get ready for Wednesday. Okay, get ready to make some jokes. I think Wu moved on. He heard his he heard the info and he moved on. I think Derek is on to other things right now. Because I was going to ask him something, but that's okay. It will get the conversation started and maybe ended too. might end a conversation, that's for sure. Um, I think the one of the weirdest conversation stoppers, and it absolutely stopped the conversation. See, when I was growing up, when somebody said that really got my goat, it means or meant, it really annoyed me. But now goat means something different. But I remember being at a party full of people and everybody's, talking, everybody's drinking, everybody's smoking, everybody's having fun. And somebody said, "Get my goat." And here comes one of the guys, and I knew this guy. I never would have guessed. And he's really loaded. I mean, really loaded. And he says, "Oh," and I don't mean loaded like money, I mean like he was wasted. And he says, "Oh, well, how you get a goat is you get this trough of water, and then you come up behind him, then you stick his head down in the water, and he don't like that, so he backs up, and then you got your goat. You got a goat." And everybody's just the conversation just dropped. Everybody was trying to translate that. Is is that what I did I just hear how to how to essay a goat? So the conversation was dead in the room. It was quiet. You could hear a pin drop. And he's just looking around like, did I say something weird? What happened? He had no idea what he had just said, the effect it was having on people. And nobody knew what to say. It was so funny. I was watching people, it's like nobody had any clue what to say after that for a while. They just kind of, because first their brains are trying to process this. Then they're looking at him like, seriously? How do you know that? Is it a man of experience? This is a man of experience, it sounds like. And then they're trying desperately to get their minds off of what he just said to think of something to say, right? Ah, God, that was, and it's like, I found it funny and I didn't dare laugh. I found it hilarious in a way. I mean, just, to watch everybody's face and watch everybody try to think of something to say. No, how do we get conversation started again after that? That just closed everything down. So all the tabs just went down at once. It was like you have a whole bunch of tabs on the computer, and all of a sudden, boom, they're all down. Ooh, but the poor goat. No, not only that, but it's a guy, and he said key. So now even the gay guys are there looking at him funny, like USA to male goat. Well, I can kind of see if you are homosexual, but half drowned goat? Really? His ghost is somewhere laughing because this fellow who did that is gone. Unfortunately for him, he got into the wrong way and with the wrong crowd. But it was so funny. And actually, It's a good story, though. It's a good story. Not bad. Yeah, Alice in Chains. Oh, I love Alice in Chains. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. If you want to make goat boys, Jesus a bobblehead. Ah! Oh dear. Yeah, that would. Yeah. Well, I mean, if it was a willing goat, I suppose consensual. If it was consensual, that would be okay. But it doesn't sound like it was consensual. Gee, yeah, you bet. Leave them goats alone. All in all, it's just another prick in the. Never mind. Um, Pan. He was actually a big guy. He was one of the mightiest gods of that pantheon, Pan. But he played the pan flute. Yes, that's right. That's right, Hook. She wasn't playing hooky. She understood the assignment. Anyway, so yeah, that was the worst conversation. So, I mean, I don't think he quite lived that one down ever entirely. And I'm quite sure that a lot of people thought of him differently than before. So, but he was a nice guy otherwise. I mean, headache, frontal lob. I'd rather have a bottle in front of me than a frontal lobotomy. I had a headache for a little while too. And then she left. No, one of my neighbors. Lots of water. And you know what? I put silver in the water. And those little nanoparticles gonna get a coat of silver. I'm gonna have to deal with silver because I put um, yeah, I put silver in water quite frequently in order to, and I put some in Cowboy's water too. He's pretty. Did any of you see his video yet today? His video. He is a healthy little guy. I didn't realize that Cowboy is probably like 12 or 13 now. I got him when they said he was about 8. And that was back in 20. So it's been, 4 or 5 years now, depending on, I can't remember quite when I got him, what the weather was like or whatever. It might have been in the spring, but yeah, it might have been in the spring. Um, but then if that's the case, he might be 13 years old already. So he's an old guy. but he's livelier than when I got him. So we've been around a bit together, haven't we, cowboy? I hope I have you a long time yet. But I think he's going to make it past 15. I think he's going to be one of the ones that's going to make it longer than 15 years. I think he's going to be closer to 20. Yeah, because he's doing really good right now, unless he declines for some reason. Uh-huh. Yeah, they can live. Some of them have lived to like 25, but usually with a lot of medical intervention. I don't want to do that to him. You know, sometimes when your ears are ringing, you're getting a message. Pay attention to what you're thinking about. Are there thoughts coming in your head? I get a certain particular kind of ear ringing when I'm about to give a message, get a message, speak star language, something like that. Oh, and I said it. So here it goes. Here comes the ringing in the ears right now. It makes sense. They're always listening. Are we going to do something? Something coming? Maybe. Or you just let me know you're there. Very high pitched tones, ringing kind of sound, not a chirping or a chirping is one thing, and there's different ones. No, this is something else. It's not chirping. And usually the character of them let you know who's communicating. This is high pitched and ringing like a tone. Mhm. Okay, well, I'm here if they want to say something. Andros of Tellurian? We've run into him before. Andros of Tellurian, welcome. Do you have something to tell us, or is there a message, or Andros of Tellurian? And I was trying to remember that name and where he said he was from, but I believe he came before. And it was, yeah, Andros of Tellurian. And Tellurian was one of the Lyran colonies. It's one of the Lyran colonies, one of Lyran offshoots. And also somebody named Telenra. Well, Telenra has something to do with the sun, Ra. So there's more than one here. Is there something to tell us? Or I'm sitting here just, you know, on the camera. It's rolling. So if you want people to know something, it's gonna get recorded. And you know that. Yeah, okay. Andros of Tellurian. Many of us are in position over your world right now. We're keeping track of everything. You are indeed moving to brighter days. I'm trying to pick up on it. I am not quite perfect at this yet. I keep getting pictures of clouds. Okay, he's in one of the cloud ships. So you're in a cloud ship, so I'm seeing that. We will be contacting you more often now. You will be seeing us quite a bit more often. Don't be afraid. It's nothing to concern yourself with. Be glad. Your allies are with you. And we keep a careful eye on everything that's happening. We have been known to put the right word in the right ear for you on your behalf. People don't even know how they get the idea, but they do. And this is how we work. That you are hearing me more clearly now than you have in the past is a very good sign. And we are very pleased with the way things are going. The transmissions will be a bit erratically spaced at first, but eventually we hope to get a clear enough contact to have regular transmissions. Right now, we wish you to know that you're doing very well. You have come through quite a lot, and it's true. You are raising in vibration. You have been doing a good job, and we want to encourage you because we know how discouraging some elements in your society can be. So anything you can do to cheer yourself up. And we're not judgmental. No, we don't judge you. He finds it funny. Wow, that was funny that came on right there. Bring. Oh, good. He has a sense of humor. I'm so glad you have a sense of humor, Andros of Tellurian. Okay, cool. I feel different too when he's talking. Andros of Tellurian. What color, Andros, what color are you people? Yes, as you may have guessed, we are blue and other colors too, but many of us are blue, as you are thinking. And do you look human? Some of us do. Wow, this is cool. This is the most that I've information that I've gotten in a while. You had to clear up enough something. Had to clear up enough something I can't hear in order to hear this better. In order to hear it better, something like that. He says, "You'll get better. Don't worry." Anything else? I just feel like smiling. So the energy I'm feeling is happy energy, smiling, kind of like a hug. And maybe that's the message is hugs from Tellurian, from the Tellurian fleet. See, I don't hear anybody talking about Telluria, do you? Has anybody ever mentioned Andros of Telluria? I'll have to look it up and see if anybody else. I have heard, you know what, as I think of it, and I hear some of these names, I have been in contact with Mira. I have been in contact with some of these other ones and didn't realize it. And I'm thinking in my name that can't be the name, but I'm just trying to just blurt out whatever is in my head. Now, when they come through like that, and I've had to work on not being scared to do that. I don't know what I thought would happen to me. Fear of being wrong, fear, ego, some ego thing. Channels have to really shove their ego aside. And that, oh, they're all having a laugh over that. Okay, you're going to show me one of your ships? Oh, before it's all over, we'll show you many of our ships. Ah! Well, that'll be fun. Inside and out. Cool. I've already seen some, right? Yes. That's the ships, the Tellurian. Was I on a Tellurian ship when I went remote viewing? Yes. I was on a Tellurian ship. Great! Now I know something. I, I have had, yes. They're not quite the same species as the Orani, though. Orani. But they are blue also. A lot of them. But not all of them. Yeah, he's showing me a lot of different shapes and sizes. So they're kind of a mixed race, mixed species of, uh, well, kind of like on this, you know, on this planet. We're mostly mixed colors, but we're a lot of sizes and shapes, right? Well, there's a little bit more variation with them than there is with us. And yet, most of them are sort of humanoid looking. Some of them would pass for human with the right makeup. Yeah. And have. Aha. Okay. Oh, that's cool. Okay. So, um, so I'm going to hear from you guys more often now. That's great. Okay. I am so happy. Yes, we're closing the transmission for now. Okay. That was so cool. That was so cool. Yeah, there are, Scotty. And you never know, Scotty. You might attract the attention of some lovely blue woman. What were they wearing? I'm just seeing more like silhouettes, but if I'm looking, he's wearing some kind of a suit like thing. It's not like our suits, but it looks a little Star Trekish actually. And high neck up here like that, and it sort of dips right here. I'm only seeing like so much, and he's blue, but looks fairly humanoid, except no hair, or I can't tell. Like I said, it's not that clear. It's more like a silhouette, or maybe that is. It's so hard to tell if that's some kind of coloration or is that hair. I'm going to have to take a look at him a little closer. But he looked fairly human otherwise. Maybe the head a bit bigger. Oh, yeah. Who knows? Well, they know that Earth boys are easy. Oh, yeah. I could tell. There were males, females, and in fact, Elanra is a female. Was it Elanra or Telenra? I can't remember. I have to wait till next time and get it straight. Elanra. Telenra? You know, a lot of them do kind of look like that. He looked like a good looking, kind of like an Earth guy, but blue. Not bad looking, not scary. Or at least I wasn't afraid of him. Only thing is, he's blue. Head shape a little different. Or maybe he was putting that on to make me feel better. I don't know. It's so hard to know. But yeah, Earth boys are easy. Who knows? Maybe, maybe you'll get your chance. Scotty, wouldn't that be something? Um, I could make all kinds of off color jokes. Get it? Off color? Hmm. Yeah, Earth Boys Are Easy. That's a movie we got to make, right? Okay. Okay, loves. You know what? Uh, it's been about 2 hours, and that's about as much of my time as I want to use up for tonight. And we're having a wonderful time, but I got to go. I have somebody kind of waiting for me. We're about to celebrate a birthday because Jason just had his birthday. Yay. So, That's partly why I'm dressed up. I don't think we're going to go out anywhere though. I think we're just going to hang out a little. And we're going to go out over the weekend. So, because he's got to work. So, I'm about to say sayonara, buckaroos. Um, have a wonderful week. No, it ain't even going to be that long. Have a wonderful couple of days. And I'll see you on Wednesday, and we'll be talking about the year of the serpent and what's coming up and what y'all are. And if anybody's not sure, we'll look you up and make sure. We'll hook you up with a reading for your birthday too. Anyway, I'm about to announce another tier of my fans base Patreon and my OnlyFans. No, I'm not doing an OnlyFans. I'm really not. I almost said that just to be funny, but I thought, no, Scotty would take me seriously and then he'd be mad. But okay. Yeah, see you on Wednesday. Okay, love you too, Mary. Love everybody. See you Wednesday and we'll have more fun.